Hey there, I'm your host Lisawi, and in today's video I'll show you how to pick up an item, drop it back on the floor, and that's it. So let's begin. For this project you're going to need a few items, and if you're like me, I don't have anything at the moment. So let's go to the plus over here to Quixelbridge, and over here we can actually download a lot of free assets. So let me just search for a sword, and previously I have few downloaded, so I won't have to wait. But find whatever you like, and simply once it's done installing, just say add, and it'll add to your project without hassle. So once that's done, we can right click, but I want to do it here. We can right click and let's create a new folder, call it whatever you like. I'll call it item pickup. So, and then once that's done, inside this folder, I'll add a blueprint class and I'll add an actor. So BP, and this will be our item. So that's what I'll call it. And inside of here, I want to add a static mesh. So let me find that. And I'll call this item once again. And the mesh we are adding is the sword that I downloaded. So add that there. Then select default scene root. And over here, we want to add a collision. Otherwise, our player won't be able to interact. And I spelled that wrong, but I'll add a sphere collision. So collision like so, just to name it. And then for the sphere radius, I'll say something about 60. That's good with me. So let's compile and save. Then inside of our event graph, we can delete those guys. We don't need them. But what we do need is a blueprint interface. So let's right click, go to blueprints and a blueprint interface. I'll call this BPI and I'll call it interact. That suits it. So let's go inside. And this function you want to rename also to interact or something that you'll remember. And actually, I could even rename this to pickup. Like so. That's fine with me. Let's compile and save. Then we can exit. And then inside here in the event graph, I want to add it. So go to class settings, go here and search for BPI. And there we are, it's called interact. And if we double click on it, it will show up in our event graph. So from here, I want to do a small delay. So press down D and left mouse button. And this delay is going to be 0.01. So we won't even notice it. Then from here, I want to destroy my actor, which is this guy. And then if you want, this is not necessary, but I will add a print string just so I know it worked. So I will say item picked up. Here we are with an exclamation point, and we can compile and save. And one more thing before I actually forget, let's create a variable, and this will be our item reference. So ref, and this will be a static mesh since that's what we are using. So static mesh, and you want to get the object reference like so. And compile and save. Then remember inside here, just select the sword like that. And now we are ready to leave. So X and let's go to our player. Inside of our player, there are two things we need, and those are two input actions. We want one for the drop and we want one for pickup. So let's find our input actions over here, and I'm going to create two new ones. So let's go to input action, IA underscore pickup. There we are. And I also want a drop. So IA underscore drop like that. And let's save both of them. And then inside of our IMC, I'm going to go into my mappings and I'm going to find my pickup. So that's that. And I want this to be on the E key. Of course, you can select whatever you want. Then one more, and this is for the drop. And let me just find it. That's it there. So, and this I want to be on the Q key. So we can save and we can exit. So then back in the event graph, let's just call those functions real quick. And one is called pickup and the other is called drop. And actually I have one more input action, and this is simply for my attack, just so he plays the montage. I've covered this in the previous video, just if you don't have it, but it's very easy to set up. Then from this point onward, on started, I want to call for each loop with break, and we are going to be checking for overlapping actors. So get overlapping actors, we are, and we are checking for actor. Then from array element, we want to get does implement interface, and the interface we're checking for is BPI interact. Then let's get a branch. So press B, hold down left mouse button, connect it into there. And if on true, we can pick up our item. So from array element, search for pickup, and there we are. That's the function. We can connect it into there. And then what I would like to do, I would like to test if this is working. So let's save. And if we interact with our item, it should get destroyed. So let me just drag it out and put it in the world like so. And if I come up to it, it should get destroyed. So yep, that works. Now let's put it into our character's hand. So let's go to the viewport, and actually we don't even have this. So let's go to the content drawer, back into our player, and find the skeleton of your player. So for me, it's here. And search for a hand you want your weapon to be in, or item. I'll search for right hand. And there it is. We can right click on this, and let's create add socket. And then I'll rename this socket to right hand item. I'm talking a lot. A right hand item. And let's hit enter. Then we can actually right click on this once more and say add preview asset. And let's go for our sword. Then in the preview animation, well, you don't have to, but it's easier to do for me actually. So I'll just do it there. We can pause this, and if I rotate, we can adjust our weapon just to fit into our hand like we want. And I believe about there, I'll be happy. It looks good. And it's a bit tedious to set it up, you know, properly, but I do want it to look somewhat good. So about there, I think looks realistic. Yeah, so I'll be happy with that. That's all good. So let's just save and exit. Then in our viewport, we can actually do the next step. So let's add a static mesh, and I'll say equipped item, and then here in the socket, let's drag this into our mesh. Oh, this is my old thing, don't mind this. Let's just delete that real quick. So you'd drag the equipped item into your character mesh like so, and then this will allow you to find the socket we just created, which is right hand underscore item, and we can reset this and reset this. So you don't see anything there, but if you have an item, it'll actually be in your hand. So let's compile and save. And back in the event graph, what we can do for our pickup item, we can get the equipped item like so. We can cast to our item from pickup. So cast to item, that's what it's called. The object is our array element, and we can promote this to a variable. And just so we don't get confused, I'll call this our item reference, full word, like so. And then I can get item ref, that's what we called it. And the equipped item, we can do set static mesh. And if we hook this here and hook this here, this will basically add the item to our hand. So previously we've seen that the item gets destroyed, but now it's going to get destroyed and it's going to be placed in our hand. So that works fine. Next thing I would like to do, I would like to drop the item. So let's create a variable, and this is going to be called has item. And we are going to be checking, so let's get it, if our player has an item or not. So if we don't have one, we can pick one up. So from false, and this goes in here. And then I want this to be set that it is true. So set it and pick that. And inside of our drop, we can copy paste this like so. And this will go to started. From here, I want to do set static mesh equipped item. So this will be then removed. So we say nothing here. And then I want to place the item back inside the world. So I'm going to look for spawn actor from class, like so. And let's get our item reference. And we can do get class and just simply connect that into there. And then the spawn location is going to be our character. So get that, we can get actor transform, split the pins here, or actually you don't even have to split them. We can just connect it like so. But if you want, we can split this here just to show you. And we could connect that like there into the values. Then at the very end, we want to set this to be false again. And once you've done this, you can actually compile and save. And if we go to play, our character should be able to pick up the item, drop the item on cue. Yeah, I forgot. We can pick the item up again and drop it as many times as we want. So guys, that's it. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial and it was easy to follow. If you liked it, leave a like. If you didn't, then leave a dislike. And as always, happy developing.